Rescue workers in China are combing through difficult mountain terrain trying to find survivors from a China Eastern plane crash. They have not yet located the plane's flight data or cockpit voice recorder, the so-called black boxes that may provide some clues about what brought down the Boeing 737. Well, CNN's Will Ripley is following this story from Taipei and just looking at the debris. It seems little hope for survivors, and certainly the investigation is facing some pretty big challenges.
Almost no hope at this stage, Lynda. Family members who have gathered at the airport in Guangzhou, where this flight was supposed to arrive on Monday afternoon, have essentially been told that they may not even be able to find and identify remains of people who were on the plane because of how violent this crash was. If you look at the dash camera video that purports to show the final seconds of this flight, it was pointed, basically vertically, nose diving towards the ground, and it fell around 7 kilometers in less than 3 minutes. It's an extraordinarily terrifying scenario for the people who were on that flight. And now what rescue and responders are basically having to search through are pieces of debris, small charred pieces of clothing, charred wallets and IDs and that sort of thing. So you can imagine just how difficult, how gruesome in many cases it is to have to go through the woods and look at a plane that has essentially been decimated by the force of the crash, which triggered an explosion, a fire. The trees that are in the area are have very deep scorch marks. But there are hundreds of responders out there searching right now, and what they've said is obviously there's no sign of survivors. They haven't identified anybody who was on the plane yet. Chinese state media has been reporting some of the passenger stories, including a group of people who were actually headed to a funeral, a teenager in that group. So, of course, as these passengers and the crew members are identified in the coming days, we're going to hear more of these really tragic stories, as we always do with these crashes. And then there are the obvious questions: how did this happen? Why did this happen? Why did a 737-800, which is a workhorse of the global aviation industry, there are more than 4,500 of these airliners in service right now. I guarantee you, at this very moment in the skies, 737-800s are flying. You've probably flown in one before, wherever you are in the world, because they're just so common. And so, given what happened to the 737 MAX, which is a different aircraft, and the microscope that the U.S. airplane manufacturer Boeing is under, Lynda, there's a lot of interest in this investigation into what Chinese investigators are going to be finding. And as of now, they have not invited the United States, the National Transportation Safety Board, or Boeing to formally come and participate in this investigation that might be coming in the coming days. But investigators who have worked with the Chinese authorities before, Lynda, have told me that it's actually very difficult at times to get information exchange going, to have transparency. And in this kind of investigation with such a horrific crash, transparency is going to be the key to finding out what happened and how to prevent it from happening again.
Exactly. No doubt the family members of those 132 people on board want answers, deserve some answers. Will Ripley, good to have you with us. Thank you.